a man of whom I've been a fan for quite some time. CBS's 9JKL is a new series that airs Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, starring in part this man, Elliott Gould. Good to see you, sir.
Great, and Linda Lavin and Mark Feuerstein.
And David Walton, who was here
just there. He's great.
A couple of weeks ago.
Lisa Lapira.
Yeah.
It's a whole new family. It's about the family.
All a new family, and we'll get to that in a short moment here. What's the biggest sporting event you've ever been to, Elliott?
That comes to mind was the 7th game of the championship series when Willis Reed limped onto the floor and hit
in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they beat the Lakers that night. That was the first championship for the Knickerbockers.
What was it like being in the Garden in those days?
Very, very, very exciting.
When we came on the floor, did you think? Because in retrospect, when Willis Reed came on the floor, it's been told that's when everybody knew it was over. The game was over.
No, it wasn't ever over.
Right.
He participated. We had to win it, you know. And we had Walt Frazier and Bill Bradley, who's a friend of mine. He was number 24. Yeah, and Dave DeBusschere, who was 22.
Phil Jackson.
Okay, Phil was good.
Yeah, right.
But no, Dave DeBusschere. It's hard to mention as players Dave DeBusschere and Phil Jackson, and Phil won't mind it. I mean, Dave DeBusschere, once he was traded from Detroit to the Knickerbockers for Howard Comives and Walt Bellamy, we became champions for the first time.
Man, you know, I just and the Knicks have been trying.
Well, that's how the Dodgers were when I was a little baby and growing up. I heard you mention about Yankee Dodger World Series.
Right.
So 1955 was like more than a bar mitzvah for me, you know, with Johnny Padres and Sandy Amorose.
Sure. Yeah. They finally broke through against those damn Yankees.
Yeah, that was a great show, Damn Yankees. You got to have heart. Yeah, was from that show.
Was from that. And so you grew up going to Ebbets Field, essentially?
I did. My mother would take me. To Ebbets Field. My mommy and daddy would take me to Ebbets Field. I was about a year and a half. Dolph Camilli played first, I'm told, but they told me every time something happened, we were in the toilet because I always had to pee.
That's funny. But
it's true.
Did you recall Jackie Robinson playing? Or?
Well, yeah. The first game he ever played in Ebbets Field was in the course of the Subway Series with the Yankees in 1947, and my parents took me there. And I thought this is April of 1947, about to be Jackie's first season. And it was in Ebbets Field, and I thought this is going to be a blue sky, a gorgeous day. It was gray, overcast, and cold, but I got to see Jackie.
So you were at Jackie Robinson's first game, Willis Reed coming onto the floor in Game 7.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, that right then.
Isn't life is like that?
I know.
Everybody has relative memories like this. Everybody.
I know, and that's the beauty of sports.
Somebody asked me who my favorite philosophers were, and I said the birds and the bees.
Larry Bird?
I met him. He's great. Larry Bird was. Bob Wolf was a manager.
He just passed away. Bob Wolf.
He passed away several years ago during the course of a Monday night game.
Oh, different
Bob Wolf was a great guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his manager. So you met Larry Bird through him?
No. I would go into the locker room. He was playing at the Forum, and the night before, he had scored a lot of points against the doctor, against Julius. And I said, somebody said that if Dr. J didn't start playing defense, Larry would score 100 points against him. And I said, was that true? And he said, no, but I would have scored 100 points.
Elliott Gould here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so tell me the story of the 76 Oscars, 1976
Is
Oscars.
that great?
Yes.
Well,
and so you
Isabella Gianni, the great French actress, and I were there to give away the award for editing. And, of course, a Monday night, the NCAA finals, Indiana and Michigan, and that was really happening. And the Oscars, with all due respect to my business and all of that, that's a popularity contest. But with the NCAA finals, that was great. And so just before I walked out, I heard the final of the game was Indiana 86, Michigan 68. So when Isabel said the winner is, I said Indiana 86 and Michigan 68, and the only reason I could remember it is graphically it was a perfect reversal.
Yeah, palindrome. Yeah,
yeah, right. And so we did it, and Verna Fields, who was the editor of Jaws, who won it, said that she soiled her pants because I broke the mold, you know.
So did it? How did you hear about it on the radio? I mean,
Yeah. And that's
1976.
sort of well, we have a crew, people, real people who work this. We can't be on the air without the unions and the crews.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a total unionist.
So,
yeah, that's it was there. It was going on. Bobby Knight told me personally that other than winning the game itself, that was the greatest thing to happen for people in Middle America. That we stayed real people, you know.
So Bob Knight. So when did you meet Bob Knight?
He asked me through ABC if I would be the special correspondent for his Olympic team. And that's when I met a few of the players who made it.
Which ones?
Well, I didn't. You know what a chaza is? I didn't want to be a chaza. You saw me.
Which means you don't want to keep taking. You don't want to keep.
Yeah, not too much. So
Right.
I mean, I had heard of Michael Jordan, and so I left him out. But later on, I played him. I'll tell you my Michael Jordan. But I met Wayman Tisdale. I met Chris Mullins. I met Patrick Ewing, and I thought, let me meet the least of the guys. Chris Alford was Bobby Knight's kid at Indiana. He ran the team.
Well, Steve Alford he's now the coach at UCLA.
UCLA. I know that.
Yeah,
I
right.
know that.
Yeah.
And you're sitting behind the desk and have a great career. You know. So.
Yes.
You know that, and so so they invited me to Bloomington, and that was the day of the last cuts. Charles Barkley had just been cut when I showed up, and it was great. Bobby Knight and our friends.
Who knew?
I would never choke a kid, but he's a great coach.
All right, Elliott Gould, tell me your Jordan story then.
Well, I was asked to play him a horse around the world and one-on-one for abused and homeless children for cameras. People have showed it to me. You know, I'm not very good with technology. And so we played a horse, and I could shoot. And especially back then, I could shoot with two hands, and Michael doesn't shoot with two hands. And so I said, I'm going to start us off with an old-fashioned, traditional, fundamental, is a very good key word. Two-handed set shot like Red Auerbach taught me. And I hit it swish, and Michael didn't shoot. So right away, he's got a letter. He's behind. And I could shoot. Michael went to half court, lined up, closed his eyes, stuck his tongue out, and hit two shots. And I could barely reach it from there, you know. I have to heave it. But now I said, okay, Michael, fly for me. So he put the ball on the floor, went up over the cylinder, did a 360, and slammed it. And I have to give the impression that I'm going to try to do that. Then we played around the world, and Michael didn't win every game.
So you beat Michael Jordan in a round?
Michael Jordan lost to me in around the world. I'm coming around. I miss a shot. Nobody's perfect. Michael doesn't close it out. I come all the way back around, and I said to Dick Van Patten, who was running it for management.
Yeah.
I said in the playground in the schoolyard where I learned the game, if you come all the way back around, you got to sink 3 foul shots to close out the game. And he said just sink one, and I did. So Michael didn't win around the world, and I said it made sense that a Jew would beat Michael Jordan around the world, you know. But we are always trying. We're always going around the world, right? I'm giving you a headache now.
No, it's fantastic. I just didn't think that there would be an Elliott Gould, Michael Jordan story with Dick Van Patten thrown in. But that's why I exist in this world, to hear stories like that. It's
great.
It's fantastic. Before I let you go, Elliott, 9JKL. Here you are. You've done Friends. You've done so much before. What makes this one special for you on CBS?
Well, I'm also
right
a
now?
grandfather in it.
Okay.
And the family, Dana Klein, who's married to Mark Feuerstein, who's one of the sons, and you had David Walton on.
Yes.
It's a very funny family. And I think family is always special, no matter what culture we're in. And this is a very American, ethnic New York family. And Dana Klein is the showrunner, and she and Mark create the show. And I think it's really great, and it's great fun, and I'm so privileged and grateful to be a part of it.
And it's on, again, 8:30 p.m. on CBS every single Monday. Elliott, this has been thrilling to have you on. Thank
Thanks.
you.
This was great.
I have a feeling we have, if your sports stories are the iceberg, we've just seen the very tip
I'll tell
of
you,
it.
I was very friendly with two people that you would want to know, but we may want to defer that. One was John Wooden, I was his friend for his last 3 years, and when we met, he told me he had been an English teacher in Indiana, and that the most important word in the English language is love, and the second most important word is balance. And Groucho Marx, with whom I was very, very friendly, and when I changed a light bulb over his bed, he gave me my greatest review. He said, "That's the best acting I've ever seen in years."
Elliott, come back anytime.
I'd
please.
love to. Thanks.
Fantastic.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.